Hi everyone. So today I'm going to start Vision IAS. Some questions, 20 questions are there. So we are going to just discuss the answer writings. Alright. So question number one is the mock test is this 2021. It's 12.5 into 20. So highlight the significance of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Also discuss some of their important provision. Answer is briefly introduce the 73rd, 74th, then write about the significance, then discuss some measures, and then conclusion. So, local government is a state subject under the 7th schedule of the constitution, and its working was earlier dependent on the will of the state government. As a result, many states did not have provision for elected local body. Further, neither regular election for these bodies were conducted nor were they empowered to work as institutions of self-government. 73rd 74th Constitutional Amendment Act passed in 1992 led to maintenance of these institutions and gave them recognition and protection. So they give constitutional status to local government. It's Part 9 of Constitution, Part 9A of Constitution. Article 40 contains Part 4 of Constitution, which states that state shall take steps to organize village panchayat and enable them to function as self-government. They brought the local government under the justification part of the Constitution. They took away the discretion of state in the matter of formation of local government and provided for mandate regular elections. They instituted some compulsory provision mandating the state to include local government in their respective laws and some voluntary provisions adopted by state based on local consideration. So structure is what? 73rd Constitutional Amendment, three-tier system Panchayati Raj, three-tier municipality also in Nagar Panchayat. Like Panchayati Raj is that Panchayat, village and intermediate and district. Again, municipalities is there, Nagar Panchayat, then municipal council, then municipal corporation based on stage of urbanization and territorial extent. Election is direct election to all seats in Panchayat at every level, and municipality they conduct all election to the local body shall be vested in State Election Commission. Reservation of seats for SC, ST and one-third for the women's in three level. District Planning Committee made up for District Planning Committee to consolidate the plans prepared by the Panchayat and municipality. Self-government 11 schedule 29 functions and 12 schedule 18th item in that. Financial power states by law may decide on granting financial power such as levy, collect appropriate tax, duty, toll, fee to the Panchayat and municipality. So this was local self-government. Next is explaining the importance of parliamentary privileges. Discuss the need for their codification. So parliamentary privileges are special rights, immunities and exemption enjoyed by the parliament as an institution and its committee and member. Some privileges are enjoyed by the each parliamentary house collectively, such as right to publish reports, exclude strangers from house proceedings. Some are enjoyed by member individually, such as freedom of speech, exemption from arrest during the parliament session. So they protect the freedom of speech of parliamentarian and insulate that against litigation over matter that occur in House of Parliament. Without these privileges, the House can neither maintain their authority, dignity, and honor. So that's why they are very important to discharge of their duties. At present, privileges are based on source of Article 105 of Constitution, various law of the Parliament, rules of both the House of Parliament. Now, no existing law that codify all the privileges of the two houses and its member based on objective guideline on what constitute a breach of privileges. So, to prevent misuse of power, codification of privileges will prevent misuse of power and Parliament to arbitrarily decide whether the law breached privileges or not. To synergize them with the fundamental rights like Article 14 and 19, they provide absolute freedom of speech in the Parliament. Clarity of privileges, it would provide clarity on the extent of boundaries and strengthen the democratic tradition also. So Parliament can take action against wrongdoers. For instance, PV Narasimha Rao versus CBI case, the Supreme Court held bribe taker who voted against the no confidence motion were immune from prosecution due to their privileges. Prevent conflict of interest also. So, however, some experts opine that codification may erode the sovereignty of the parliament. They have also been argument that privileges, if codified, will come within the ambit of judicial scrutiny and determination, and goes against the principle of separation of power. But National Commission to Review of Working of Constitution, the first, the second Press Commission, and the Press Council of India, and their reports have argued for codification of these privileges. The privileges could not be allowed to remain uncertain and vague, and they must be invoked in rare circumstances to prevent real obstruction in the legislative function. So, this will go a long way in strengthening the democratic institution by allowing genuine criticism and the right to know. Next is mention the objective and composition of National Human Rights Commission. Also throw light on what is the National Human Rights Commission. Composition highlight the succession and limitation to throw light upon the effectiveness. So National Human Rights Commission 1993 statutory body, right to watchdog on the human rights matters, protection and promoting the human rights, liberty, equality, dignity, individual guaranteed, embodied in the international covenant and enforceable by court, to strengthen the institutional of arrangement through with which human right issue could be addressed, to look into allegation of access independently of government in the matter that would underline the government commitment to protect human right, spreading of human right awareness, and there shall be a chairman who retired Chief Justice of India or Judge of Supreme Court, two members who serving as retired Judge of Supreme Court or serving retired Chief Justice of High Court, three members will be a knowledge of practical experience of human right, and seven ex-officio member, National Commission for Minority, SC, ST, OBC, Women, National Commission of Protection of Child Rights and Disability also. So this commission taken up the cause of marginalized section like mental health patient, bonded labor, fake encounter cases, draconian laws will be like terrorist disruptive activity act, prevention of terrorism act, suo motu cognizance of rights violation, and issue a notice to government over the deportation of Rohingya immigration, expanded reach by handling more cases, visiting different states to organize open hearing to take cognizance problem. As the recommendation of National Human Rights Commission are not binding, they are not implemented many times, and National Human Rights Commission lack power to enforce them. So mechanism of investigation, and it's dependent on other agency for it, and the power to investigate human right violation are formed, and improper handling of cases due to lack of required infrastructure, inadequate staff, poor funding are main problem in this. Otherwise it's good, and it more efficient and truly watchdog of human right violation. Next is discuss the significance of preamble Indian Constitution. Can it be amended like any other provision of Constitution? So preamble refer to the introduction or preface of Constitution. It contains summary or essence of Constitution. So it embodied the basic philosophy, political, moral values. It contained the grand noble vision of Constitution Assembly and reflect the dream and aspiration of founding members. It we the people of India. It can use legal interpretation of Constitution. It is soul of the Constitution and yardstick with which one can measure the worth of Constitution. It reflects the nature of Indian basic character of Constitution and socialistic secular republic. It identifies the objective of Constitution: liberty, justice, equality. The question of amendability of the preamble under Article 368 was raised in the historic Keshwanand Bharti case and Berubari case 1960. So, however, in Keshwanand Bharti case, Supreme Court stated that opinion tendered by it in Berubari case and can be amended under Article 368 subject to condition that no amendment is done to the basic structure of Constitution. So, preamble has been amended only once so far by 42 Constitutional Amendment Act, which added three new words: socialist, secular, and integrity to the preamble. Okay. Now explain the significance and analyze the scope of judicial review in India. So judicial review is the power of Supreme Court and High Court to examine the constitutionality of the law, execute order of both center state government. If the court arrives at the conclusion that the law is inconsistent with the provision of constitution, such a law is declared unconstitutional. So the term of judicial review is now here mentioned in the constitution. The principle of judicial review is encompasses Article 13. So, uphold the supremacy of the Constitution. The significance of judicial review is uphold the constitutional supremacy and conformity with the constitutional provision. Judicial review control arbitrary or unjust act, protect the fundamental rights of the citizen, review the guarantee that the right accorded by the Constitution, maintain federal equilibrium. The power of judicial review allow the judiciary to invalidate a law it is inconsistent or not, and provides a check and balance and render their accountability decision go beyond the constitutional authority, uphold rule of law, and administration decision are taken rationally in accordance with a fair procedure, and the constitutional validity of the legislature enactment or executive order can be challenged in the Supreme Court. It is infringe the fundamental right, or if outside the competence of authority, or it is repugnant to the provision of constitution, then it will be the scope of judicial review to be there. Procedures established by law and procedures established by law is very important in that, and responsibility suitability of policy implication as followed under a due process of law. In Maneka Gandhi case 1978, where the Supreme Court observed that procedure established by law does not mean any arbitrary procedure laid down by Parliament, but must be interpretation of the due process. So this is balance between judicial and parliamentary supremacy. Next question is, what are the fundamental principles on which our constitution is based? Why do you think it was important to codify them in form of written documents? So fundamental principles. Briefly define the constitution, mention fundamental principles, analyze the reason that necessitate the codification. So first is sovereignty. Citizen of country exercise to the power take decision on internal and external matters. Social justice. The framer of individual constitution were aware of existing social cleavages and disparities. So socio-economic and political equality should be there. Secularism, like government should also treat all religion, belief and practice with equal respect. Respect for diversity and minority rights is their community, and every community had values, tradition, custom, languages. Indian constitution respect cultural diversity and also provision of protection religious and linguistic minority. And parliamentary democracy responsibility, democratic basis, lower house, the ultimate control of lower house, and liberty. Indian liberalism strike a balance between the right of individual and communal values. Equality, further the government should ensure equal opportunity and fraternity feeling of brotherhood. So the Britain Constitution helped in clearly defining the structure and function of the state and its organ, proclaiming its basic principle, establishing government institution and regulating relationship between them. The executive, the lack of authority to alter the written constitution. So a procedure that is specified in the constitution itself to ensure it is constitution is supreme, and a written constitution help in laying down limits of the power of government and specifying certain fundamental rights also. So it generate a degree of trust, coordination in between the different sectors of the society and a harmony also. Next is explain the concept of federalism. Mention the key feature of federalism in India. So federalism is the system of government in which the power is divided between central authority and various constituent unit of country. The constitution specifies power sharing arrangement between different level of government, different tier of government, and each has its own independent jurisdiction in specific matters like taxation, legislation, administration. So what are the union of state? We declare the constitution as India, but not federalism. But the federal feature associated with the Indian constitution are dual polity. Constitution established a dual polity consisting of union government and state government. Division of power between the union and state demarcates the subjects and the exclusion domain of union and those under state, and prescribe the limits within which they must operate. Bicameralism. The constitution provides for a bicameral legislation consisting of upper house, lower house. Rajya Sabha represent the state of Indian federalism, while Lok Sabha represent the people of Indian its whole. Supremacy of constitution. The constitution is higher law of the land. Law enacted by the center and state must conform to its provision. Rigid constitution. Supremacy of constitution. Rigid constitution also. Okay, so center state relation and judicial organization also given, and federal provision of constitution amendment powers also there. Independent judiciary is there. protect the supremacy of constitution by exercising power of judicial review. Indian constitution has created a strong central government to stem disintegration and bring about social and political change. Further, it has some unique feature like the power of center to unilaterally change the area boundary, name of state, process of appointment of governor, single constitution, no equality of state, representation of Rajya Sabha, emergency provisions, single citizenship, all India services. So, as our Bomai case, the Supreme Court laid the constitution is federal and characteristic federal as basic feature and cooperative federalism to meet the Indian peculiar needs. Next is give the account of the composition, mandate, the function of the interstate council in the India. So Article 263 of Constitutional mandate the establishment of interstate council by the President to facilitate coordination of policy and their implementation between union and state. So in pursuance of this, after the recommendation of Sarkaria Commission was created a constitutional body by President on the 1990. It was constituted. It now includes Prime Minister, Chairman, and Chief Minister of the whole state, Chief Minister and Administrator of the Union Territory not having a legislative assembly, Cabinet Minister recommended by the Prime Minister. There are also 10 Union Minister as permanent invitee. So, investigation and discussing such subjects in which some or all of state or union and state have a common interest, making recommendation upon any such subject and in particular recommendation for the better coordination of policy and action which respect to the subject, deliberating upon such matters of general interest and state or as may be referred by chairman of council. Council has dedicated secretariat to help its function. A standing committee of the Interstate Council has been constituted for continuous consultation and processing of matter for the consideration of Council. Union Ministry of Cabinet rank 8 Chief Minister of State member nominated by Chairman and State Interstate Council have continuous consultation and process matter for consideration of Council. Process all matters pertaining to center-state relations taken up by consideration, monitor implementation of decision recommended by the council and consider the matter referred to the chairman. The standing committee may also invite experts and persons eminent in specific field, and the council was slated to meet thrice a year. It's 3 times meets a year, give its important function promoting cooperation, coordination, harmonizing policy, and pivotal function facilitating trust between the center and state. However, the function of council has been far from satisfactory. The meeting of the council have been quite frequent given a need of strengthening understanding cooperation between center and state. Next question is, although the Indian constitution gives Rajya Sabha some special powers, yet on most matters Lok Sabha exercise supreme power. Discuss. So we will briefly discuss the Indian Parliament consists two houses, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is indirectly elected body and represent the state of India due to the federal character. It has been given to exclusive and special power. It can authorize the Parliament to make law on the subject enumerated in state list. It can authorize the Parliament to create new All India Service Center in state. So first is all is it is subject enumerated in the state list, and second it is the power all India service. So however, Rajya Sabha has an unequal status with Lok Sabha since on many matters Lok Sabha has the supreme power. So a money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha can delay the money bill only for 14 days, either with recommendation or without recommendation. The Lok Sabha can either accept, reject all any recommendation of Rajya Sabha. In both the cases, money bill is deemed to have been passed by the two houses. Financial bill, a financial bill not containing solely the matter of Article 1110 also can be introduced only in Lok Sabha and not in Rajya Sabha. But with regard to passage, both the houses have equal powers. Joint sitting, the Speaker of Lok Sabha preside over joint sitting, and Lok Sabha with greater number prevail in joint sitting except when the combined strength of ruling party in both the houses less than the opposition party. Budget, Rajya Sabha can only discuss the budget and cannot vote on demands for grants. Emergency, resolution for the discontinuation of national emergency can pass only Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. No confidence motion. The Rajya Sabha cannot remove the Council of Ministry by passing a no confidence motion. This is because the Council of Ministry collectively responsible only to the Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can only discuss the criticize the policies. Even though Rajya Sabha has been given less powers as compared with the Lok Sabha, it has key role in preventing hasty decision. Okay, next is what is the Comptroller and Auditor General, and mention the constitutional provision and independence. So, Article 148 of Indian Constitution provides for the office of Comptroller and Auditor General. He is appointed by President as a head of Indian Audit and Accounts Department. He acts as a watchdog to see the various authority under Constitution function regard to financial matters and accordance with the Constitution law. To audit all receipt in the expenditure from Consolidated Fund of India, State, Union, Territory, and ascertain the money shown in the account have been disbursed legally available for and applicable to service or purpose for which they have been applied. Contingency Fund of India and public account. It is audited also by that. And to audit all trading, manufacturing, profit, loss account, balance sheets, and Department of Union and States accounts and expenditure, transaction, and account to be audited by him. To audit receipt and expenditure of substantial finance by union and state government and companies and corporation and finance by the government. Prescription of form in which accounts are to be kept in union state, submission of finance account and appropriation account to president, governor, administration and duty, provision of necessary information to union and state, preparation of budget, annual financial statement. Constitution provision which ensure its independent, fixed tenure. He holds fixed tenure 6 years till he attains 65 years. Criteria for removal: he can be removed by the president only in the two grounds: proved misbehavior or incapacity. And procedure mentioned in the constitution. Eligibility for the further appointment: he is not eligible for the further office either under the government of India or any state. Entitlement: neither his salary nor his right is in respect of leave or absence, pension or age retirement can be altered to his disadvantage. Expenditure charges: the administration expenses of the office cake including all the salary, allowances and pension charge upon Consolidated Fund of India. So, according to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, CAG is the most important office of under the Constitution of India. Next question is: it is often argued that state legislature council is an ornamental and superfluous body. Do you agree? So, legislature council is partly elected, partly nominated, second chamber in the state. Article 169 of Indian Constitution: the Parliament may create or abolish or legislature council if the legislature assembly of the state passes a resolution to the effect by a special majority. So the Legislative Council as the second house act as a check on the hasty action of the popularized elected house and also helps eminent individual who might not be cut out for rough and tumble direct election contribute to the legislation. It is very existent dependent on will of the Legislative Assembly as it can abolish by the resolution passed by Assembly. For example, the Andhra Pradesh Assembly recently passed a resolution to abolish its council. The council lacks concrete power as it can at most delay ordinary bills by 4 months, and in matter of disagreement the assembly can have its way without the concurrence of council. Council cannot reject amend money bill. It can only withhold the bill for 14 days and only make recommendation for amendment. Member of Legislative Council, unlike their counterpart in the assembly, cannot vote in election of the president or the member of Rajya Sabha. The Council of Ministry is responsible only to the Legislative Assembly and not to the Council. The composition of Council render it weak as partly nominated, partly elected. It represents various sections of interest also. So its significance cannot be denied completely as there are several gaps in legislative scrutiny done by Legislative Assembly. Also, their importance can be gauged from a track record of attention of both government and public to matters of public interest by consideration of reports of constitutional body like State Finance Commission, State Public Service Commission, Comptroller, Auditor General of India. Therefore, the Council needs to be empowered to act effectively. Only with more and wider powers can council act as a second chamber of the state just like Rajya Sabha. Compare the discretionary power of governor of the state and president of the India. Discretionary power of the president of the governor are those power which their exercise is per their own individual judgment and not advent or advice of council of ministry. Discretionary power of two types. Constitutional power, these are discretionary power are mentioned in constitution. Situational power, these are situational power. Hidden discretionary power, exigency of the prevailing political situation. President and governor of a state can act at their situational discretional. Appointment of prime minister CM after no party has been clear majority. Dissolution of Lok Sabha state legislative assembly if loses the majority. Sending back the advice given by the council of ministry for reconsideration. There are some other cases where the governor may act in his her discretion, such as establishment of separate development board. So Vidarbha and Marathwada, Kutch and Saurashtra and Gujarat with respect to administration of tribal area was some observance of law and order as long as internal disturbance of Naga Hill. So the governor has constitutional discretion in following cases: reservation of bill for the consideration of president, recommendation for the imposition of president rule, exercising his function as the administrator of the adjoining union territory, determining the amount payable to the autonomous tribal district council in the state of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. First is reservation of the bill, second recommendation to the president rule, third is exercising function the administration of adjoining union territory, fourth is determining the amount payable to autonomous tribal district council. So these are the discretionary power of the governor. But in case of president, appointment of the prime minister CM, dissolution of Lok Sabha and sending back the advice given by council of minister for the reconsideration. Seek information from the CM with regard to administration and legislative matter, also the discretionary power of governor. So Indian constitution grant discretionary power of governor article 163, but it does not explicitly grant any discretionary power to president of India. Especially 42 Act 44 amendment, the president is expressly required by article 74 of constitution to always raise a council of minister to aid and advise and to always act in accordance with the advice of function. It is only the situational discretionary power which is available to both the president and the governor of the state. Next is the Indian constitution is a synthesis of British principle of the parliamentary sovereignty and the American principle of judicial supremacy discussed. So we are going to discuss the Indian constitution is the synthesis of British principle of parliamentary sovereignty and American principle of judicial supremacy. The framer of Indian constitution gathered various features of the existing constitution and modified them to suit the existing condition, large size need of India. So Parliament has absolute sovereignty with unlimited law-making powers because parliamentary sovereignty is the British legacy, which can make or unmake any kind of law by ordinance process of legislation. Also, the court cannot question or review the validity of legislature. So American principle of judicial supremacy where no law of the land is beyond judicial scrutiny. The Supreme Court therefore enjoy no overwhelming power of judicial review to dismantle the act of the legislature. In the UK, the parliament is supreme, but in the India, the parliament enjoy limited and restricted power due to written constitution. The constitution is the supreme law of the land in the India, and all state organ, including the parliament, judiciary, executive, are bound by the constitutional supremacy were explicitly in the Keshwanand Bharti case and Mindra Mill case. In India, there is a difference between statutory law and constitutional law, and special provisions are incorporated in constitution to make amendment as per Article 368. Law made by Parliament are subject to interpretation by Supreme Court and High Court. Judicial review under Article 32 and 226 light of ideal and objective of the Constitution. So, what we taken from the Britain. First, of all the state organ, including the Parliament, judicial, executive, are bounded by it like supreme law of the Constitution. And Keshwanand Bharti case, then Mindra Mill case, then statutory law, constitutional law, special provision are incorporated in Constitution to make amendments. And law made by Parliament are subject to interpretation by Supreme Court and High Court. In light of ideal of objective of constitution, the American Constitution scheme follows judicial supremacy and provides due process of law unlike procedures established by law. The due process of law gives wide scope to the Supreme Court to grant protection to the rights of its citizens. It can declare law violate of their rights void on substantive as well as procedural ground. While in India, under procedural establishment or by law, the scope of judicial review power of Supreme Court is narrower. However, the Supreme Court consistently widened the scope of judicial review in India through judgment Maneka Gandhi case. By accepting the concept of natural justice as one of the essential components of law, they were importing the American concept due process of law into our constitution. Thus, the Constitution of India has adopted a middle path between British principle parliamentary supremacy and American principle of judicial supremacy. While it is the prerogative of the Parliament to amend the Constitution and make the law, it is the duty of the judiciary to decide if the basic deals and structure of constitution are transgressed by the such law. Next question. So, not justiciable are directive principle of state policy considered fundamental in the government of country. Directive principle of state policy are mentioned part 4 of Constitution, Article 36 and 51. These principles are the instrument of instruction ideal state follow while formulating policy and enacting law to promote social economic justice. They aim promote welfare of the people, free, aid, poor, protect, improve environment. Not enforceable by a court. The court cannot compel the government to follow these principles. Indian Constitution under Article 37 state DPSP are fundamental in governance of country and shall be duty of the state to apply this principle in making law. These principles act as a guide for establishment of welfare state, socio-economic, political justice, beacon light for the court, and help them exercising their power. Judicial review reinforce the ideal of preamble, which resolve to secure the to all citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, facilitate stability and continuity of in domestic and foreign policy, supplement the fundamental right by creating favorable atmosphere and filling the vacuum of part third by providing social economic rights. uh, Crucial test for performance of the parliament, the pupil can examine policy and program of the government in light of their declaration, enable opposition to exercise influence and control over operation of government, sever as a common political manifesto ruling party irrespective of the political ideology, and help establish vision of the freedom fighters, especially Gandhi, providing power and authority to the local government, promoting cottage industry and village industry. So, constitutional status to village panchayat, right to education, further acknowledging the significance of DPSP. Supreme Court in Minwa Mill case held that the Indian Constitution is founded bedrock of balance between fundamental right and directive principle. Next is discuss the emergence of concept of basic structure, power of parliament to amend the constitution. The basic structure concept was amended power of parliament. It evolved as a result of various cases. Question of amendability of constitution. So Shankari Prasad case first amendment which curtailed the right to property. The Article 368 also include the power to amend the fundamental right. Also, word law is in Golaknath case. The constitutional validity of 17 Amendment Act, which inserted certain act in 9th schedule, was challenged. The Supreme Court reversed its earlier stand and ruled that fundamental rights are given a transacted and immutable position, and hence the Parliament cannot abridge take away these rights. Parliament then enacted 24th Amendment Act and declared the Parliament has the power to abridge or take away any fundamental right under Article 368, and such act will not be law under not law under 13. Keshwanand Bharti case, Golaknath case upheld 24 constitutional amendment. However, it also laid down doctrine of basic structure, which stated Parliament could abridge or take away the fundamental right, but not those which form the basic structure. 42 amendment as response, it amended the Article 368, no limitation on the constitutional power Parliament, and no amendment can be questioned in any court. Violation of fundamental right. Minra Mill case, 42 amendment, unlimited constitutional amendment power of parliament. for judicial review of basic structure of constitutional. Further stated, a limited amending power of parliament is one of the basic feature of constitution, not absolute amendment. Women Rao case, Vaman Rao case for the basic structure is further clarified in 24th April 1973. The judgment date Keshwanand Bharti case. So supremacy of constitution, sovereignty, democracy, republic nature, secular separation of power, limited power to parliament, judicial review, harmony and balance between fundamental right and DPSP, independent judiciary. So Article 368 can amend any part of constitution including the fundamental right without affecting the basic structure of constitution. So while there might not be a consensus on feature that may be considered basic observation in India Gandhi case, the theory of basic structure has to be considered in each individual case. So this whole 25 question today we discussed about